Let's talk fantasy football. But Brandon, it's only March, you say. Yeah, you're right. It is only March. That means it's the perfect time to get an edge on your league mates while they're all watching baseball or March Madness or whatever the hell else is going on. No, I'm just kidding. I love that stuff too. But let's be real. When other sports start to kick off, you kind of put football on the back burner, especially fantasy football. So looking at this stuff throughout the offseason and thinking about players will at least give you some sort of edge over your league mates who are going to look at rankings for the first time in August. And instead of you doing that and trying to figure out who signed where and who should be upgraded, downgraded, side graded, you can have an edge right now. The only thing you'll have to worry about on draft day is how many points you're going to win by every week. So strap in and subscribe if you're addicted to fantasy football like I am, because we're going to win some leagues together this year. I promise. Enough of the intro though, let's get into the discussion. We're talking about Kenny Golladay today. Golladay today? Golladay today? Golladay today. Kenny Golladay. Long story short, we have to downgrade Kenny this year. Going from Matthew Stafford to Daniel Jones is like going from a T-bone steak to gas station sushi. I am not a Jones believer. Matthew Stafford's average depth of target last year was 8.7 yards per attempt, good for 5th in the NFL, while Daniel Jones was at 7.1, 27th in the NFL. Stafford is simply a much better and more willing downfield passer than Jones, and in terms of total passing yards, Golladay is going from an offense that was 10th in the league to one that was 29th. Now, it's not all bad. The Giants' offense should improve with Saquon back, and Golladay still gets to be the undisputed number one wide receiver on his team, but overall, this situation will not be as fantasy-friendly as Detroit. Now, we all know the Lions aren't exactly considered a competent franchise in the NFL, but offense is not something they've struggled with, so unless you're banking on a big step forward for Daniel Jones this year, we have to predict a few steps back for Kenny Golladay, at least statistically. So where should you draft Kenny Golladay this year? Because obviously we're not writing him off completely, we're just downgrading him a little bit. Last year, he was drafted as the 7th wide receiver off the board on average. This year, I'm thinking he should go in the 12 to 15 range. He might get bumped up to like the 10 to 12 range just on name recognition alone. Now, Golladay does have enough talent and opportunity to be a number one fantasy wide receiver on your team, or at the very least a high-end number 2, as long as you've secured a solid running back or two first. As far as the wide receiver position is concerned, here's a list of players I draft ahead of him, at least as of right now, before the NFL draft or any other developments. But that'll do it for this episode. If you're still watching this, you clearly take fantasy football pretty seriously, just like I do. So subscribe, come along on this ride with me. We will win some leagues together, I promise you. Also, be sure to comment down below what players you want to see me talk about next, or what other topics you want to hear about, because I'm open to anything. But thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.